Hello, everyone. My name is Jana. I'm the Marketing Communications Manager here at the Additive Manufacturing CRC. We will start in a minute. We're just waiting for a couple of more people to arrive. Okay, I might kick things off. First of all, I would like to apologize for the inconvenience last Wednesday. We tried to fix it on the fly. Unfortunately, Microsoft Teams said no. So we really appreciate your understanding and joining us today. I'm here with my colleagues Matthew Young and Frank Wagner, who will be presenting later and answering your questions. But before we start, I would like to run through a couple of housekeepings. I know we have muted you all and also disabled your cameras, but down the track, yeah, there might be a chance that you can access all the functionalities. So in the meantime, I would like to ask you, please to mute your microphones, switch off the video, and submit all your questions via the Q&A function at the top of the screen. I also would like to advise you that we are recording this session. We will be sharing the recording after the meeting. And yeah, if you have any questions, please raise a hand, and we're trying to address that at the end of the meeting. Before we start, I would like to acknowledge the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin who are the traditional owners of the land on which the AMCRC office is located here in Melbourne, and we would like to pay our respect to their elders, past, present, and emerging. Today, we've got a full agenda. We would like to introduce you to the Additive Manufacturing CRC very broadly. Most of you know us already. And then dive into the collaborative funding program and run you through our current funding round. Matthew Young will do that, and at the end we answer all your questions and provide an outline what's coming next. First of all, as I said, most of you know who we are. We are a industry-led cooperative research center. We have been running for nearly a year. The anniversary is coming up at the 1st of July. We have been given 57.5 million in Commonwealth funding to transform and advance additive manufacturing in Australia. Our mission is to build a world-class AM ecosystem, and we're trying to do so through research and development projects, training and education programs, and engage with industry. How we do that in general is bringing together our research community consisting of 13 universities and CSIRO, our industry partners. Currently, we've got over 60 organizations joined, from small to medium manufacturers to larger corporations. As well, we've got a strong relationship with state, federal and local governments. And as I said before, our mission is to accelerate industry-led research, uplift the industry as a whole, and provide training and education programs. Just to sort of provide you a brief overview. As I say, we do have 4 research programs that are integrated and comprising the entire additive manufacturing value chain. We're starting with sort of sustainable manufacturing. That's program 1, as it's looking at more the human factor requirements and the digital ecosystem that we operate in. Then program 2 looks at application and material developments. What can we do to sort of enhance the materials and resources that we work with? Program 3 is looking at technology and progress. Development is literally at AM technologies and the processes used to print. And last but not least is sort of post-processing and surface technologies to round up the additive manufacturing process. We also provide education and training, and the aim there is, as said before, to upskill the workforce, and we're trying to do that through our PhD program. We're also currently developing micro-credentials, working with TAFEs and the universities to provide the courses and training programs to really upskill the workforce. And currently, just to give you a brief overview, we have approved 70 industry-led projects so far, and they are in line with the NRF priorities, so across medical, defense, critical minerals and resources, transport, etc. So we're currently working on bringing them all on board. Some have already started and providing vital progress. We will share more insights of each project later. And this is just an overview of our partners and the wider AM network that we are collaborating with. And then I hand over to Matthew.
Afternoon, everyone, or good morning. Sorry. I think I've cleared now. Okay, a bit of an echo. Depending where you are in Australia. So this is just an overview of our collaborative funding. Just to let everyone know, the last core funding round, the first core funding round that we ran, we subscribed 5 projects approved in that round, totaling over 2.5 million in funding. And so we're definitely underway. When combined with the fast track projects, we've now got just over 5 million of CRC funds out for over $10 million worth of projects. When you look at in-kind contributions, we're close to $25 million, if not a bit more than that. I don't have control of the slides. Obviously our funding programs are industry-led, and we're looking for key things within projects that advance Australians' manufacturing capability, accelerate uptake of AM technologies, explore new business models that this enables, as well as how can we harden materials and supply chains in Australia to support additive manufacturing, commercial scale up with our partners, and then having as a CRC, we're looking to build an enduring industry and research partnership, so the term of the CRC. So every CRC is based around something for Australia, and we're looking to build that long-term economic community benefit that additive manufacturing can bring. From our funding aspect, so the core projects that we're talking about today, we're looking for a minimum investment of $250,000 from industry. We can go a little bit lower than that depending on the project, but we're looking for substantial investment of time and effort of at least one person dedicated to R&D a year in running these projects over a number of years. And we can go up to 5 million in this. We will be announcing and have details on our website early next month on the starter program, which are smaller, sharper projects, nominally 3 to 12 months, with an investment level from industry starting at $20,000 up to $75,000. So won't talk too much about that today, but it will be coming, and we'll definitely have a webinar early next month to describe that and answer any questions that'll be available. As we said, we co-invest with industry to do research at our university partners. And these are those partners. At this stage, we've nominally got a project approved with most of our partners, but all are looking for more return on their investment into the CRC. One key thing about this CRC, if you're a new industry partner on this webinar, is that we don't fund your research within your organisation, industry organisation. Any work that happens in there, we expect it is in-kind contributions, and that we will fund the research only within the university. Under certain circumstances where there's unique capabilities that is needed to assist that, there are ways to cover that through the research funding, but our university partners need to agree as a flow through in cash back to the industry partner to do those services. Again, core funding at a glance. So as I said, multi-year projects, 1-to-1 cash matching, project durations 2 to 4 years, and total project value of 250,000 to 5 million in total. Nominally, we want to see industry investing at least $100,000 per year. That sees us employ someone full-time in the university, cover the overheads that we do at a 30% on cost, as well as materials and potentially operational expenses. So normally it could be a bit higher in the spend rate, but this is the kind of minimum target. So again, these are multi-year projects addressing key industry challenges, supports projects aligned with our research programs, and as our research programs are developed, if you're doing something aligned with surface technologies or additive manufacturing, you're likely to fit with our research program. But one of our key elements of our Commonwealth Agreement is that every project needs to be mapped somewhere into our Commonwealth Agreement, which we will do. And if we can't do that, we'll let you know early in the development process of a project. And of course, the hope is that this, as well as the project in itself, will establish a long-term industry and research partnerships. So just highlighting a bit more those key points. Investing, so we're investing in multi-year projects. So we have a preference for signed AMCRC industry partners. Those partners we're holding cash for the next year and a bit, on the premise that they will build a project. Beyond that, though, we have additional funds available to allocate to new partners. So industry partners can come in and apply for a project without being a partner to the CRC, and provided that cash is still available when you apply, which it is at the moment, then we'll be able to field that project and put it through our process of approval. The investment level, as I noted, 250,000 base investment that we're targeting. From a technology readiness, we talk in the terms of manufacturing readiness. So we cover much broader than just the technology itself. It's whether it's development of specifications, whether it's qualifiable as a process, whether it's fit for purpose, whether workforce is able to adapt and move into that technology. So we talk in manufacturing readiness, 4 to 7, and that's sitting between proof of concept up to prototype. As I said, we need to align all projects with research programs. We do a lot of that work in alignment, but we ask that in an application that the company and the researchers have a little look at our appendices in the application and see where they think they align to us. Every project should contribute to sustainable manufacturing in the context of Program 1, which is both the environmental, social and governance, but as well the digital ecosystem and how you can engage in additive manufacturing and surface technologies to transform your business through that digital ecosystem. All project participants, including the researchers, bring in-kind contributions to the project. So generally on the university side, those are the researchers, the professorial staff that are employed anyway, that we would count as in-kind from a staff point of view, as well as the access to the equipment at a reasonable rate of rental. And from the industry point of view, that's generally any time that you spend on the project or materials that you contribute to the project as an in-kind contribution that we cannot generally don't pay for. And then one thing about these larger projects, we're looking for multi-partner collaborations, both within industry and universities. Within the last round that we did, we had a number of projects with more than one partner, industry partner or university partner. The larger the funding becomes, the larger the collaboration we're looking for. One thing I'll add to this is we noticed the education program within the application this term. You'll notice if you started on the financial spreadsheet that we do have the option to add students to a project. If a project industry partner is looking for more than $1 million in funding, we would strongly encourage you to consider if a PhD student can be included in that project. And if there is a small side project that stands a test for an industry PhD to do that work and see a graduation for that student. Not compulsory, but strongly encouraged and recognised in the assessment process. Next slide. As I noted, we've got our guidelines, budget sheets, and application sheet on the website, all in our new branding, as you would have noticed from this slide if you've attended previous ones, and a few updates to that as to how to fill it out. So there's suggests that you read clearly the guidelines as you fill out the application, just to make sure you're compliant, and then the budget spreadsheet. One thing that the CRC does, and we've got Frank on the line, and myself, and we've broadened the team. We've just added Alex Barrix to our team. We help you develop the application from a management team to make sure you have the best possible application going forward when it gets scored, and the industry partner is asked to do a short Shark Tank interview and Q&A. We do this because we have an independent project investment committee that assesses those projects. If a project is not fitting well with us, we'll let you know and try and suggest other funding if available, or what options there are to pivot within the project. Next slide. Key is within our project applications is a good problem or opportunity that industry is trying to address and which they own themselves. So, this needs to be rooted within the industry partners' operations and very clearly articulated. The next part of the application is describing their outcome, and we're very, it needs to be very clear as to what the solution is and how it addresses the problem that was identified. Throughout our applications and milestones that we ask you to fill out, we're looking for tangible outputs and deliverables. So not necessarily reports, but test results, protocols, those tangible results that at one point would be translated to the industry partner to enable them to use the work. The next part of the application focuses more on the strategic fit. So the main objective is fitting with our, as I noted, manufacturing readiness levels and our research programs, how everyone will collaborate and work together. And that sort of moves into the, what are the significance the project will develop from a commercial sense for the industry partner. So the lower section, you'll notice that there's highlighted yellow sections. We encourage the industry partner to answer these sections. If it is answered by the researcher, we ask that the industry partner edits them and makes sure it makes commercial sense from their business aspect, because you will be asked to present that in the Shark Tank part of the application process. As I highlighted, the key part is the strategy for commercialization. A lot of CRCs and ARC research programs tend to define the problem, work on the problem, and then when the research is successful, look at it for a strategy to implement and commercialize and a broader sense. We're looking for that to be identified up front in the application. And so we ask for you to look at how it'll be adopted and commercialized, and what the plan is to get there post the CRC research, noting that we only typically fund up to prototype of the research. And then the other aspect that needs to be there is what additional investment is needed to make that happen beyond the research itself. What broader markets may be suitable if successful for expansion, and then as well, of course, the risks associated with research. We all know that research is not a given thing, but both the research has its risks, but as well the commercialization to implement it, noting that we are looking to fund areas such as medtech, defence, etc., that can be long-term exercises to get regulatory and compliance achieved in the marketplace to deliver a commercial outcome. Next slide. Is that it? Oh, sorry. Sorry. Important difference for the additive manufacturing CRC is that we don't take any interest in project IP or background IP. Where we want to see that invested in the people that are going to use that IP, which generally is the industry partner. So if they are not going to own the project IP, there needs to be a clear pathway to access on reasonable grounds, given they paid for the research work. From a background IP perspective, we try to treat that consistently, that any background IP introduced and improvements on that background IP generally remains the property of the partner that contributed that IP, and if that is is needed to predicate the commercialisation, that those access terms are a fair, equitable licensing agreement negotiated in good faith, generally at the after the project is completed. Any protection of IP, such as patents, copyrights, and that introducing should be treated, is treated within the projects as confidential information within the projects, and there's allowances for that. But one important thing is that we don't use the funding to fund patent applications or any IP lodgements. We will fund, of course, invention disclosures, which generally occur under a normal process within our research partners. I guess these are a few little do's and don'ts within the application. So as I've already noted, we're looking for strong industry commitment, and we're looking for senior management support within our organisation, CEO, or those that make the decisions and sign the checks. We're looking for a broader benefit to Australian manufacturing. Approach to research, which is holistic and sound. So often what comes along with engineering research and development and is something that would transform a business. And so, if there's other aspects as to business transformation research, which business schools can assist, then that should be included in the project if possible. As the project continues, we look for in-kind contributions. You'll see there's within the guidelines, there's and the application, there is areas to introduce to outline in-kind contributions, and we can give you advice as to what's eligible within that. Tangible outputs, as I noted, and then industry pathways. Given our assessment committee are not all experts in additive manufacturing, or the business that you may be in, or the research that you're doing, best to avoid all buzzwords, abbreviations, generic statements in science and additive manufacturing. And research-only framing, we're looking for that fuller, business aspect in the applications. So at the moment, we haven't received any fully worked up applications. So I would encourage you, if you're building an application, to express your interest with us and let us know that you're filling out the application so we can help you along the way. If you need any guidance as to whether or not you're unsure about whether the project fits, we can quickly have a Teams meeting and go over what the objectives are, talk to the researchers and the industry partners together, and tease out an understanding and give you a guidance to the fit. As I said, talk to us, in these early stages as you're developing an application before submission is due. Send drafts to us. We will provide comprehensive feedback to those drafts and help you with the best answers possible. Once you've developed that application and submitted it with everything complete, as I noted, it'll be scored within a 2 weeks period after the application, and then we will ask the Project Investment Committee to we'll come together. We'll schedule a pitch session and they'll do some Q&As. From that point, they would recommend approval to our board, and our board will meet 2 weeks after the PIC meeting. And then we usually, as in last round, we sent out the approval, the offer letters for funding the day after the board met. So we're a very lean, quick operation in getting projects approved, and they're establishing a project agreement. The application informs the agreement. The agreement is usually sent out within a week after we receive confirmation of acceptance for funding from the offer letter. So this is the flowchart for the process, as I noted. As I said, maybe if you focus into the centre there of the flowchart, where we've got alliance and compliance with AMCRC, that shouldn't be the end spot for an application. And so if you get your application to us early, we will check it. We'll make sure it aligns. If it doesn't, we'll give you feedback and get it in shape so it does by the closing date. But just give us plenty of time to do that. The project, after it's submitted, then it goes through the process as I've described. Jump next slide. So as noted, we're partway through this open round. Open the 1st of this month. And we will be closing on the 17th of July. So these are the nominal dates then for assessment and notification for successful applications. So that's us. So as I said, myself, Frank or Alex, people to get in contact. Unfortunately, Simon couldn't be here today to join us, but he as well is happy to talk to anyone who's interested in putting in an application, and I'm sure he'll be back next time to do this presentation, and you don't have to listen to Jana and myself as much. So I think that covers it all off. So we'll just open to Q&A. I'm not sure if Jana wants to field the questions.
Are there any questions at the moment? No. Okay. Halgren has raised his hand.
And did you? Anders, did you have a question?
Let's try again. Thank you, Matt, for this information.
Sorry, Anders, you're on mute.
Is this better? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Please continue.
Okay, thank you. So you mentioned earlier, Matt, that this is a second round of core project applications that you're asking for. So what was the outcome from the first round in terms of project uptakes or dollar outs and things like that, since you've been running now for a year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, we're running two computers next to each other. Yeah. So as I said, we approved 5 projects that are in contracting at the moment. The total funding was just over 2.6 million, I think, of AMCRC funding. So about 5.2 million in total. They are in defence, medtech health space. They're in defence, both naval and aircraft related, as well as I think I'm missing something. That's about it. I think that was it. Mostly defence and medtech in this round. In our we have about the same amount invested in our startup program, and they cover a much broader range from civil infrastructure applications, which is on our website with a company called Civiltech, surface coatings in sort of active surfaces, as well as wear applications and specialist coatings, through to repair of structures and other areas. So quite a broad area of projects. So but so of the 57.5 million, we've still got over 51 million of funds available from the Commonwealth money to go into projects.
Great, thank you. Thank you very much. If nobody else has any questions, I have a few more, if I may. But I can wait. Bruce.
I don't think we've got any other questions at the moment.
Okay. So I have been fortunate enough to have had a number of meetings with SMEs out in Western Sydney. And most of them, since I'm working predominantly with in the defense sector at the moment, they are all defense related. And I've been trying to sell the AMCRC to these companies, but I come across some resistance, or hesitations, and that is the minimum $100,000 per year that is required for as a contribution. Have you considered that many of these companies, they simply don't have that capacity to put so much money into these kind of, for them, high risk projects?
Yeah. As I noted, we've got the SME starter program coming along, so that'll be live early next month, with a similar application but much lower level of entry to suit those projects. Part of that basis is to build relationships for those that may not have worked with the universities before, to encourage them to reach out to universities that have the investment in infrastructure and people and knowledge to do that work, and as well, hopefully overcome the issue that a lot of people face, is that to invest $250,000 or $100,000 per year with a university that you've never worked before is a big ask, without having trust and understanding how you work together. So hopefully that builds that trust in both the university and the CRC as a funder, to build those projects.
Okay, that's excellent. Thank you. My third question is around workforce development and skills and training and things like that. Would there be, I know that it's in your program, but would there be opportunities to have a core project that is predominantly focused on workforce development and training and skills development?
We're developing a separate skills development programs within micro-credentials and needs of industry, and we're doing at the moment we've got some projects doing capability mapping of the whole ecosystem within Australia, and part of that is to confirm what is broadly needed by industry, as well as we have a number of international partners that can deliver training models. So how we bring that in from a project perspective would probably have to understand the concept of how that works and how that actually fits in the model of the researchers doing the research work, or where it is. We have supported a project that is predominantly around developing the knowledge and the capability to qualify new materials and equipment and machineries, using researchers to do that. So there's a mixture of fundamental research on materials, machine settings and things like that, but as well that transference of knowledge on how to take that to the next level within the industry partner, from qualifications to current standards such as DivQ required within naval applications, etc. So I'm not sure if that answers the question, but maybe we can talk more in detail offline.
No, that's excellent. Thank you, Matthew. That does answer my question, and because this is another thing that we do come across in Western Sydney, being such a strong manufacturing area in Australia, that there is a gap. I call it like a workforce skills and workforce development gap, and that I'm very keen to see how we from the university can address that and help with together with you guys to address those issues. And the other gap that I see is the technology diffusion gap, and that has to do with similar things. Actually, is linked to the skills development, because many companies, they don't see immediately the need for new inventions or new technologies and things. They are just afraid of getting into that and investing in that. They see it as a big risk. So but I'm looking forward to be working with you and also this SME. What was it called, the SME Starter Program? Is that what you call it, Matt?
It's just called the Starter Program.
Oh, Starter Program. Okay. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. We've got some more questions. Might jump in the Q&A or the.
It's in the chat. Bruce has a question. We have a project proposal of 18 months duration is acceptable. It's on the desktop.
Oh yeah, yeah. As I said, generally projects will go over. So in relation to Bruce's question, 18 months duration. Generally projects will go over. May go less than a number of years. So 18 months is doable. What we ask project industry to consider is that if it's leading to longer work, and because we stage gate our projects, we look for a stage gate and a review at the end of every year, that part of that process is to decide whether you go on to the next year and what the scale of the project is. So there's always a chance to adjust as you go. And so given that funding in CRCs, not at this stage, obviously we have a lot of funding left and available, but at later stages it's quite valuable to lock in that funding, scope a larger, broader project based on success, and then if it's not going the right way, stage gate it and close it down through a controlled process. So
There's one more question in the chat from Nat. I have a question in regards to the minimum funding of $100,000 per year from industry. Can that be spent to hire internal resources for the project, or does it have to be paid to the research partner?
Maybe I can take this one. Yes, CRCs can only pay the research partners. So the 100,000, let's say, have to be spent, and we can double it up, and this funding has to go to one or multiple research partners who are part of our consortium. There's also a question about if you are unable to meet the 17th of July deadline, we are planning to have more core project funding rounds in the future. If everything goes well, we hope to have more or less quarterly core funding rounds, call for proposals.
So I'm not seeing any other questions. Is there any other questions anyone would like to ask? Well, if there's no other questions, I guess we'll close up there. As I noted, we'll be launching our startup project, funding with applications open the 1st of July, provided we get all our materials up on the website in time. And we'll definitely be holding our information session on the 15th of July. So that'll be the next time we talk to you with a bit more detail about what we've talked today. So understanding this has obviously come out of that understanding and the questions that we've had in previous of these sessions, as well as we developed the application and what we had written into our Commonwealth grant application, that we were looking to have an entry-level program to additive manufacturing for Australian industry. And so it'll be kicking off on the 1st of July. Normally at this stage, we have approval from our board to run it for the next 2 to 3 years, and then we'll reassess after that stage how long, whether we continue it for the duration of the CRC. So thanks everyone for logging in, and we'll probably wind it up there.